Hey everyone! So today I am finally going to share my home birth story with you. I'm going to tell you the story of how I brought sweet Liberty Grace into the world.
Cut. As Duff and Dax, we believe God is good. He is in us, so He is always with us. We hear His voice and we follow it daily. Jesus died to bring us back to a garden life.
So welcome back to our channel. We are the Duff and Dax. Today we get to share, I feel like our home birth story. I know I did a lot of it, but I'm gonna let you be part of that.
Okay, we are one.
We are one. Okay, so let's start. How the heck did we decide to do a home birth?
I have no idea.
So anyway, we became pregnant. Obviously, we were so excited. I didn't really have any fear or any thoughts of the birth yet. So we went to a place in Redding, California, a health store. We went to get our prenatals. Walked into the health store and I asked a lady what prenatals to get. So she was like, well, where are you having your baby? And I was like, what? What do you mean, where am I having my baby? She was like, well, I had 3 at home. Sister had 4, mom had 7. And I was like, oh, okay. Probably the first I'd heard of a home birth. So we leave the store and I turned to Blake and I'm like, I think we're gonna do a home birth. And he was like, okay.
It was weird. It was exactly like that.
So I was like, okay. I was like, well, let's just do a little bit of research, but okay, we're gonna do it. I just felt peace on it.
That's basically led our whole life is
what
we feel peace on, we feel like the Lord's on, we're just gonna go for it.
We just do it. So it was basically as simple as that. Yeah. That's how we decided to do a home birth. Anyway, pregnancy was amazing. I am a very positive person in general. So her due date was like the end of March, 25th or 27th. It's confusing how you figure out the due date. She doesn't come on the 25th.
I was wrong.
She doesn't come on the 27th we woke up. That was, okay, maybe this was her due date, I think. So she's gonna come today.
Lost all my bets.
So I'm 41 weeks and 3 days now. So I'm like, we're gonna have to go to the hospital in like 4 days if we don't have her.
Yeah, because the midwives only let you deliver 2 weeks after your due date.
42 weeks. I think you can go to 42 weeks.
Yeah.
So we were nearing that and they had said, okay, well, come in at 41 weeks and 3 days. So I went in. Honestly, I didn't think I'd have to get to that point that morning. I thought she'd come. I was really disappointed. I'd been having Braxton Hicks literally for 2 weeks every day before, like thinking they were contractions and thinking like this is going to be a breeze. So we'd be like walking around the park, timing the contractions. Like, noobs. Babe, it's starting. Like,
noobs.
Oh gosh. So we do have to go in. We get an ultrasound to make sure everything's okay. Yeah, the lady was like, baby's okay, but your amniotic fluid is getting very low and you have 48 hours to have this baby. So we were just like, okay, we're going to do everything we can possibly do that's natural to get this baby out.
After that ultrasound, they swept your membrane.
Good job. We're sent home with these herbs. I will link them below. I can't remember the name of them right now. And we were also told to go buy castor oil. They advised me to have 1 tablespoon of castor oil. So I had it. I actually just downed it, threw it back, no bother. And nothing. They were like, okay, something else you can do, something else natural, start pumping. But no, that didn't work either. So then I do 1 more dose of castor oil, thinking it's not gonna work, at about 8 p.m. So we get into bed, cozy up, Blake turns over, I go to the bathroom 1 more time before I have to go to bed, and I walk back in, and like I just won't forget, like he just had his back turned because he was going to sleep, but I was just like, yeah, right. Like, yeah, right. We're sleeping now. Like, I'm 100% in labor. So I got in the tub, got Blake to kind of lay beside me outside it, put some Jesus music on. It was all very relaxing.
So literally this was within 30 minutes of her getting out of bed, starting to have contractions, got in the tub to relax, and she's like, okay, call the midwife to let them know this is happening. So, but they're like, okay, like, let's hear how she's doing. And like, literally as I was on the phone, it just took off. Like, all of a sudden she was like,
I couldn't talk during
relaxing in the tub, and then she was like, they need to come here, get him here. And I'm just like, no way we're already to this point. Like, you really want them to come over already? And she's like, get him here. So I'm like, okay, like, put her on speaker. And she was like, yes, come.
So then I get into bed and I'm just like, okay, I just need comfort right now. I thought that I would like maybe want to sit on my ball. Maybe Blake would be kind of like snuggling me, but like I just wanted to be in the position I'm in when I go to sleep. So I got in that position on my side, one of my legs up, and I just like held onto this blanket, and I was just like trying to breathe through it. Literally the midwives were like, oh, okay, it's pretty intense. Like, this is for sure active labor. I didn't have any pre-labor.
So Vicky was laying in bed. I was in there with her, just kind of, again, like she said, comforting her. Midwife is massaging her through these contractions. And well, the other midwife, there's two of them there, comes to me and she's like, hey, do you have any more pots? And I'm like, pots? Like, what kind of sorcery are you about to do? And so I like walk out to the kitchen, and mind you, we're doing a home birth in our 2-bedroom tiny apartment. I walk in the kitchen and I was like, oh no. She's literally boiling the water and then going and dumping it to try to fill up this big inflatable pool because our hot water ran out because Vicky just got done taking a bath.
So the water's ready, and I ask the girls, and I go to stand up, and they say, yes, let's go, let's get in the water. But, well, actually, if there's any way you could do this thing before, that would be great, because my water hadn't broke and I hadn't lost my mucus plug. So like, and I don't even know, like maybe I was a 1 or a 2. Like, don't even ask about dilation at this point.
So we needed to get something done to get something moving.
Yes.
Now the midwives are very peaceful, so it's more of a suggestion, but it's also like, definitely you need to do this. So we're like, okay, what is it?
Yeah.
And she's like, can you squat down? She has to squat down. I have to get behind her. I had to get behind Vicky like this, grab the baby, lift her up and pull her in as she squatted down into me. One more time, and good.
So I literally had to do that 8 times. So lose my mucus plug, time to get in the tub. It did feel really good. So the most comfortable position for me to be in was this position. So I just wanted to be on my all fours. I wanted to be leaning on something. I wanted to be forward. It was just the most comfortable during a contraction. A really cool thing that they got me to do was, hey, if you want to, you can actually feel her head. So you could kind of see the progress. You can feel her moving down. So that was a really amazing experience. You never got to feel, did you? You could have if you wanted.
Yeah, I could have. So the midwives checked her, and somehow they found out that Liberty's chin was actually up, so she was trying to come out this way, which is more surface area.
Yeah.
And the baby's chin needs to be down, so it's just more narrow. They're basically like, okay, we need to do something that's going to get baby to come up so she can tuck her chin and come back down. And the only way to do that is these things called inversions.
So I have been well used to doing them. Spinning babies are these exercises you can do, especially if you're doing a home birth, any birth, to get your body ready and the baby in a good position for birth. So we go out to the couch and I have to get into an inversion, which is this. So I had to get into that position during a contraction. So back into the tub I get. I try pushing again. Remember?
Yeah.
They check me again after a little while. They're like, well, her head's still the same. We might just have to do one more inversion. Back out of the tub I get, dry me off, go to the couch. back into another inversion, in a contraction. Please, Lord, let this work.
At this point, I'm just like, you're my hero. I don't know how you're doing this, where your mind is at, but she's just literally in and out of the tub, I think 3 times?
2 inversions.
2 inversions. Trooper.
Get back in the tub. This is when baby is descending. I'm noticing like she is actually getting lower.
Yeah, it worked. So she's still been pushing during contractions, things like that, and still it feels like we need to do something different. So at this time, the main midwife comes and she starts literally doing what Vicky needs. She starts coaching her. She starts saying, okay, like, don't scream like that because you're wasting all of your energy. You need to do it down.
So she checked me too, and she was like, Vicky, you're still super narrow. If you want to get this baby out, you need to push. And I was like, what the heck have I been doing for the last 2 hours? I've nearly blown my asshole. Anyway, I'm like, okay, baby's coming out. I'm over this. We're not doing this any longer.
So she literally grabs Vicky from behind, spins her around to one side of the tub, and is just like, okay, grab behind your legs and push as hard as you can. We're going to do this. So she's just fully in position, locked and loaded. And she's like, you're going to push and we're going to get this baby out.
So contraction comes, and I literally pushed as hard as I possibly could. And I did exactly what I needed to with my breath. I pushed. Okay, nothing yet, go again. And I was like, I can't. She's like, yes, you can. So, and again, second one. Okay. Third one. Oh, yes. I'm like, just her head pops out. Then I had to wait for another contraction to push again to get the rest of her out. So next contraction comes, and I push as hard as I can, and just, she comes out. And Blake and I are both absolutely blown away.
Could not. I don't know what I pictured this whole time, but it was like when her head came out, from my side it was just like her ear, and it was just like a normal ear, and her head. I was like, this is a full baby. I don't know
what we were expecting. I was expecting like a tiny.
Yeah, I just expected a baby doll that they have at the midwife. I don't know.
No, weirdly enough, I was honestly the same. I was like really shocked. The midwives popped her up in my chest, and she started crying after like a few seconds straight away. A good cry.
Lifting her head up, looking around. That moment right there was literally like, this is why we made the decision together to do a natural birth. Is literally when she put Liberty on her chest, you could just see how aware she was, how alert she was.
Yeah, Blake always says that's his favorite part. She literally just looking around, what's going on. Like, it was amazing. So yeah, they warmed up the baby. Everything was great. Baby started feeding, and we called parents. We're just rejoicing. Sweet baby Liberty Grace. We just love her so much.
Yeah.
But would I do it again? Yes. I absolutely would have another home birth.
Will have
another home birth. It was an adventurous 8 hours, but all in all, it was an incredible experience. And the most amazing thing was that I didn't have fear once during the whole thing. Like, that was the most important thing for me. I wasn't scared. I wasn't in fear. Yes, it was hard. Yes, it was challenging, and I had to work. Like, I had to work to bring that beautiful baby girl into the world. But all of the positive, beautiful things that come with home birth definitely outweigh the challenges. So I hope you enjoyed that, our real and raw story of our home birth. If anybody has any questions about the birth, a little more specific questions, or if you're thinking of having a home birth, questioning it, should I do it, should I not do it? We'd honestly love to answer questions, even husbands, like,
heck yeah,
ask away. So yeah, message us. But yeah, like, subscribe, and we hope you enjoyed this. See you soon, guys.
Good job.
God.
Liberty,
All okay?
Liberty Grace Duffenbach.
Oh my goodness me.
Liberty Grace.